evening, good evening, good evening. What's happening? What's good? What's going on? It's your dog, Toddy, checking in on the live stream. What's popping? The first Monday after our NFL draft. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. What y'all think, man? What y'all think? I came on and we talked about, of course, the Bijan draft pick, but now that it's over, now that it's done, y'all got to tell your dog what y'all thought about the draft. You know what I'm saying? Were y'all happy with it? Dissatisfied with it? It was okay. Like, what's everybody's feeling regarding the draft, regarding the players that we got, and so forth and so on. So, let's do our check-ins real quick. We got Facebook user checking in. What's going on, Facebook user? Got my guy Millie Mills is in the building. What's up, Millie? Got my man's Philip Crawford checking in. What's good? T10 wins a bus. I'm banging on these coaches. I hear it, bro. Hey, we in the same boat. Philip, we also gonna talk about what are your expectations for the 2023 Falcons? What are your expectations? We're gonna talk about it also. Also, my man's Frankie is in the building. Glad that you're here, Frankie. How you doing tonight, bro? We got Mills 1967 checking in. What's going on? Got my bro John Brooks in here. What's up, John? It's Gucci. It's Gucci. Yes, sir. John also is tight. I'm gonna be honest, bro. This draft sucked. We didn't do nearly enough. I feel you, John. I feel you. Like, what parts are specifically what about the draft were you dissatisfied with, John? Let us know what you didn't like about it. Got my bro Kelly in the building. How you doing tonight, brother? We got Facebook user checking in. Said, what's good, bro? I got Matty T in here. Said, what's going on, Matty? What's going on with you? We also, let me turn this phone on silent. We got Mills checking in. Says, I like the undrafted free agent wide receiver we pick up. Reminds me of the Jet. Hey, man, if he can play halfway as good as Prime Julio, we in business, especially being a undrafted free agent. Definitely. I got DJ Mo Lewis in here. What's up with you, Mo? I still don't understand why we reached that running back. We stay reaching with our top 10 picks. I came to mother effing bang. Bang on a big Mo. Bang. Hey, banging is allowed here, bro. So if you don't like the pick, you are more than welcome to tell us about it. You already know I was dissatisfied with it, but eventually I'll come around. But even if I had to do it again, I'm still not taking a running back in the top 8. But that's water under the bridge for me. Bijan is here, and hopefully he turns into a first ballot Hall of Fame guy for the Falcons, because that's something we definitely need. Tydrick Davis is in the building. What's up with you, Tydrick? Can't see you in a minute. Says, yo, Tyler, will you give Bijan a chance, or are you still upset? I don't think you giving him a chance. It's a good pick. I done came down a little bit on it, because initially I was on 10. Now I'm down to like 5 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as upset now. And don't get me wrong, Tydrick. I I knew going into the draft that he was an exceptional talent, Tydrick. And I don't think you're in our ABG Facebook group, but I'm repeating myself again, but I was talking about Bijan back in 2021 in that group, man. I already knew the kid was a stud. So I guess to kind of clarify my position, I'm not mad at the player. It's the pick. It's just a pick. But he here now. Ain't nothing I could do but support him and root him on. And like I say, hopefully when his career is over with Atlanta, he goes into the Hall of Fame. So he definitely got my support, without a doubt. Kivia's in the building. Says Kivia in the house. 98 in air. 98 degrees. God damn, boy. Shoot. Whoa, already? Y'all bringing in May 1st with a bang, right? God dang, where you at in the middle of the desert? 98 degrees in May. Boy, I can imagine what July gonna be like. Good God Almighty. John says, bro, we could have had Jalen. We passed on him. We passed on Jalen Hyatt. We passed on Jigbo, and we had a lot left on the board. Yeah, that has been like a point of contention in the fan base, John. Like the decision not to go and get Jalen Carter. and a lot of that I'm assuming weigh heavily on what people say is his off field issues, character issues, the incident with the car accident. I read a few things where um, allegedly, people say that on YouTube all the time. So I guess I'll start saying it. Allegedly, some of the UGA coaches didn't have a lot of nice things to say about him. And the Falcons, we all about high character guys, good guys, and all that stuff. But what kind of puzzles me about that a little bit though, because we was as Big Low say, we was butt naked for Deshaun Watson last year, and he had a lot of mud on his name. So I think the character thing comes into play during certain situations. If it's convenient to use it here, we'll use it here. If it's not convenient to use it here, we won't use it here. But we tried that. We tried our damnedest to get Deshaun Watson, man. He had all kind of stuff surrounding him as far as character goes. But we shall see, man. We shall see. That's going to be something us Falcons fans going to talk about throughout their careers. Who ends up being a better player? Will it be Jalen Carter, or will it be Bijan Robinson? So we'll definitely be debating that for probably the next 5 or 10 years for sure. Millie says Harrison, Phillips, and Bergeron I like a lot. Kind of think they feel the need. Yeah, they definitely did a lot of drafting for needs. And Millie, I always be coming on here talking about how I be tired of the fan base talking about best player available, best player available, best player available. And as you saw by this draft, they drafted for a lot of needs, as you said. And in my opinion, once again, repeating myself, I don't get caught up in that best player available thing. That was mostly just GM speak to me. New GM coming with a new mantra, so to speak. But you're never gonna draft the most talented player available 100% of the time in the NFL draft. That has never been the case. It never will be the case. There are going to be a lot of times where you're going to leave who you perceive as the most talented player available on the board because you got a glaring need that you have to fill. And we saw that a lot with our draft picks. I got my guy Winston Thorne in the building. What's up with you, bro? How's it going? Robinson, what's up, bro? Represent from the BX. I wanted Carter, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's why I'm at with it, man. I wanted Carter, but hey, what can we do about it, bro? What's done is done. Matty says, Todd, I want your honest opinion. I think we took Robinson as a panic pick because the Eagles were in on him badly, and I think we got him to block them thoughts. From what I know about the Eagles, from what I read, they were big on Jalen Carter. That's what they wanted. I didn't think that unlike us, Philly don't traditionally draft like running backs that high in the draft. Philly like to build their trenches. So I think they were real big on Jalen Carter. And I just think that they were just had their fingers crossed and like, yeah, nobody take him and we'll grab him. And that's what I've heard. And from them historically, that's how they like to draft. I mean, you go back to last year, they took his tag team partner at I think when was Jordan Davis drafted in the teens, maybe 15, somewhere around there. But they took Jordan Davis in the first round. So Philly like to kind of build their trenches up early in the draft, and then I think they kind of go with skill position guys later on through the draft or maybe through free agency. And that was just some of my dissatisfaction too with our rebuild. Is we started off rebuilding with nothing but skill position guys. Kyle, Drake, and Bijan. Um, I don't like. I still don't like building a team like that. Off the rip, all offensive guys. But we're gonna see how it play out, man. We got to shake a bake this year, man. Ain't no room for excuses for the Falcons this year. None at all. How you like the Clark Phillips pick? I think it was a good pickup. Cornerback, I believe you're talking about. We needed a corner, and from what I've seen from him, he's an excellent athlete, man. Makes a lot of plays on the ball. So I think it was a good pickup. How much playing time he'll get this year is probably going to depend on how bad or well the guys that are playing above him on the depth chart is doing. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Millie Mill says, Tidy, what's the Facebook group called? It's called Atlanta Bird Game. Hold on, I'm gonna actually go to it. Million, I'm gonna drop you a link, man. Come in there and rap with us, bro. That's the Trenches Falcons group right there, man. Let me go to it. I'm gonna get you a link and I'll give it to you, bro. Just a second here. There's a lot of sharks in that, Millie. I'm telling you, man. You think I be going hard on YouTube, bro? That's a lot of sharks in that group. Just a moment here, Millie. I'm gonna shoot you the link, brother. Just a second. Y'all bear with me, man. All right, Millie. There go the link, bro. You can just follow that link and we'll add you on there. Or add you in there, I should say. Philip says I wanted I think you said I wanted Carter, but Bijan Robinson makes sense. He's another Patterson that can line up anywhere to confuse defenses. Now we have three of our four players that can line up in multiple places. And just to piss some people off, if we had Lamar Jackson, that would have been talking about making a Super Bowl run and not the Ravens. Yeah, Lamar ended up finally signing his contract with the Ravens, which I think was a 5-year deal. And if Bijan comes out and he's everything that he's built to be, man, this, like I say, this will all be water under the bridge. We'll all fall in line. But Philip, I think a lot of the reasons that so many fans are torn on the things that the Falcons do is because, yeah, that's our team. We love our team, but like our trust level in regards to trusting them making the right decisions is not high as high as we would like it to be. And that's just due to the fact that notoriously we've been a terrible franchise, man. In these last 5 years, or shoot, last 7 years, going all the way back to 2023, man, it's just been a lot of heartbreak, a lot of disappointment, a lot of stress, a lot of strain. So, people have just grown to like kind of distrust them in a sense of like always making the wrong move. And hopefully with the new administration, they'll come along and they'll actually change that and get everything going in the right direction. Hopefully. John says, bro, I'm sick of the Falcons passing on a lot of great talent like Ingram from the Saints, Gibbs from Bama. Gibbs went to the Lions, I think, at number 12. I think it was number 12, and Bijan went number 8. And I know pre-draft they were saying that a lot of teams had them neck and neck, and Bijan wasn't the clear cut number 1 running back like a lot of people thought he would be. And the draft kind of showed that with them kind of being picked in similar places. Excuse me. Bijan Robinson is that guy. I certainly hope he ends up being that guy. I do. My guy Dom is in the bill. So what's going on, Tyler? What's happening with you, Dom? Y'all be sure to like, comment, and share. Yes, thank you very much, Dom. Y'all do your dog a favor, man. Just hit that like button, man. That's just a YouTube thing, man. YouTube, the more likes you get on the video, the more they'll shoot your content to a bigger audience. So do your dog a favor, man, and just hit that like button, man. And that helps us get the content out here. Rusty Moore Jr. is in the building. Says if Dez don't ball out with these weapons, we just need to sell the farm for a quarterback next year. He really has no excuses. You said that perfectly, man. You said it perfectly. If he can't get it done this year, man, like that's probably gonna be our only resort. We're gonna have to end up, like you say, selling the farm and getting us a quarterback very early in the draft, man. And if that does happen, boy, you're gonna have a lot of pissed off Falcons fans, man. If we just go through another bad season where we end up having a losing record, man, it's gonna be terrible. I'm telling you. Facebook user like the best player available thing. It keeps you from drafting an all right player just because it's a need. And see, that's the thing with me with the best player available thing. To me, I know what it means, but it's really just GM speak and just somebody's opinion. There's nothing scientific about best player available. That's just 2 to 4 people's opinion combined with like the scout, the talent evaluators. Like it's nothing scientific about that. The Falcons might have thought Bijan was the best player, and then you got another team over here that's saying he won the best player. No team will ever go through drafts, multiple drafts, just drafting the most talented person. You can't fill out your roster like that. That's why you see us take a guard in the second round, because we had a glaring need for a guard. So we started drafting for needs. everybody gonna always draft for needs. That best player available is just a matrix. It's just a matrix of certain factors, and they put it on a chart and then they label it. It's not just like the most talented player. I mean, you may do that a few times during the draft, but you can't go through drafts just ignoring your needs on your roster. You can't do it. Um, it'll never equate. Never. Like for example, if you go through a draft and you draft the first round of running back, well, what if the second round says, well, this is the best player available, another running back? What if the third round says the best player available is another running back? You really think they're gonna draft three consecutive running backs? No. So like I say, it's just a matrix, and part of that matrix includes team needs. Kelly says, I think the Bijan pick signifies a direction that no longer wins in today's NFL. Tennessee has been looking for a Tannehill replacement the last two drafts. Can't run the ball 30 times and win no more. How long before we realize the same? Excellent point. And that was a lot of my frustration when I went on my tyrant right after the draft, man. It's like that's kind of more old school football, man. Like these elite quarterbacks, they run in the league, So that was a lot of my frustration, man. So I hope it plays out for us, man. I really do, because I'm assuming we're gonna get to some points when we play some teams and they just gonna dare us. Like, hey, we dare y'all to pass. We dare Desmond Ritter to put up 340, 4 touchdowns, and complete 68% of his passes. That's more in line with today's NFL. Exactly what you're saying. I got my guy Atlanta, Georgia Faithful in the building. Y'all do me a big favor. Click on his profile on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, and run the likes up. What's going on with you, homie? Mo Lewis says Falcons trying to hide how sorry Reddit is. I'm getting slushy, icy vibes. Mo Lewis and came in here to bang already. Hey, but y'all, I'm gonna bring some people in here, because I didn't. Y'all know, if you ain't seen it yet, my last live stream, I went on one of my infamous rants about the Bijan pick. So I want to get other people's opinion, how they felt about the draft. And I'm sure more specifically how they felt about the Bijan Robinson pick. So, we're going to bring a few of the crew on here, and, we're going to give them the floor and let them talk. We're going to start off. We're going to bring everybody in here at one time, and then we'll give everybody an opportunity to talk about what they thought about the pick. We got our guy John Harris in here rocking. Is that old prime time throwback, John?
Yeah, just got out the cleaners.
Oh, hey, it looked crispy, man. I got this old school Julio here, but you look way more crispy than I do, man. I like it.
Well, white always does look crispy.
There you go. John, you're going to have the floor, but before we do that, we're going to bring Antonio Henderson in. How you doing today, bro?
What's good, Toddy? What's up, John?
What's going on, man?
Got it.
Chilling. And we got one more we're going to bring in. I think we got James. Are you with us, James?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Hey, good. Glad to have you here, man. And before we get started, thank everybody for coming on. I really appreciate it. John, the topic we talking about, the draft. John, what do you think about the 2023 Falcons draft, Bijan, or any other player you want to speak about?
Well, I'm going to start with Bijan, since he was the first person that we drafted. I was listening to 92.9. I think it was right after he was picked. I think it was Friday morning. And they were saying, well, okay, they asked a couple of people around, and they said, well, he's going to get a couple of weeks or whatever to get himself straight, and then he's going to take over. And my first impression was, take over what? You had 1,000-yard rusher last year. What are you going to take over? That's my question. And the problem I have with it, and I see Winston, because me and Winston talked about it last night.
Hey, let's keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. But see,
what's up, Winston?
This is the thing with me. And, when I talked with Winston, he kind of clarified everything. But the takeover part was something that we agreed to agree on. this is a weapon, and I know this person, Bijan, from what I saw of the tape and everything, is explosive. But to me, getting him is just like you purchased a refrigerator last year, it's still under warranty, and you go get another refrigerator just because it's on sale. And you need an oven. So now, why would you go get another refrigerator just because it's on sale, but you need an oven? It just doesn't, it doesn't make any sense to me. However, I have to hold my nose and dive in the pool. I have to hold my nose and dive in the pool and trust that everything's going to work out and that everything is going to be the way that they are advertising it, because we still have a problem. We still have a problem. We don't trust Ritter. The 4-game interview is something that gave us a glimpse, but didn't settle our stomach. It just didn't settle our stomach. And the seat is warm for Fontenot, and it's getting hot for Arthur Smith. So that's where I am, with everything here. All of the other picks, if people need to be coached up, that's their job to coach them up, get them ready, because we're expecting big things this year. It's not fair, but that's the world you're living in, man.
That's true. Very, very true. All right, Antonio, you got the floor, my brother. What you think about our draft this year and Bijan Robinson as well?
I can understand a lot of people being pissed off about the pick, but I respect a lot of people's opinion, because everybody entitled to their opinion. But when it comes down to it, I don't think the organization wanted the problems that they thought would come with Jalen Carter. That's one. Two, with Bijan being there, I'm not saying that he's going to take away anything from Tyler Algier. I think Algier's still going to get his carries, just like Bijan going to get it. We might have 2,000, yard running backs this year. It's possible. But at the same time, you got to look at it. People fail to realize you can't really judge Ritter off of a 4-game resume. It's not like the boy can't throw. And then a lot of people fail to realize the boy can run too. He ran a 4.49 40 at the combine. So it's not like he can't get loose. But people will respect the Falcons from a run standpoint, which is going to open up that play action to a lot of stuff. And you got to look at what he's throwing to now. You got Pitt sitting out there. You got Drake London sitting out there. They might throw Cordell Patterson out there. They might put Bijan out there. Still got old boy from what's his name from New England,
Jones Smith.
Jones Smith out there. Like, the Falcons gonna be a problem this year, and there's a lot of extras out there that's saying the same thing. They're gonna be a problem. You're gonna have to respect us this year. Last year they was like, oh, they in a rebuild. Mariota out there, no, he's not throwing no deep ball. Bijan out there, they can put that boy out there. That boy, he got hands. He can run, he can catch. A healthy Pitts. You can't say Ritter wasn't getting the ball to Drake London last year, so imagine with a healthy Pitts. Everybody complaining about who's going to be our wide receiver number 2. Dude, we got like 10 wide receivers on the roster right now. 10. They ain't even going. They got to worry about the first before you worry about a wide receiver 2. Because they out there. It's not like we don't have the roster to do damage. Teams going to respect us this year, dude. The Bijan pick, yeah. If we didn't get him, he was going right after that. People talking about whoever the dude said today that he was going to be there in the later rounds. Bijan wasn't making it out the first. And then as far as us getting Bergeron, Dallas was about to draft that boy. That's why we traded up.
Yeah, I saw that video.
They was about to get him. That's why we traded up. We needed him. I don't really have a problem with the draft at all. I think we did great. And I'll leave it at that.
All right. Before you check out and we go to James, you did get a reply from your statement. I want you to address if you don't mind. Miss B, what's up? Miss B says, "Oh, he's taking over. Getting picked at 8, he getting most of the carry. Poor Tyler. Poor Algier.
I mean, the thing about it is, if Algier in the game, you don't even know how the playbook gonna be set up. They can put both of them boys out there and split them out. Like you understand, Algier gonna get his carries. Yeah, Bijan gonna get a lot of the workload, but they gonna still split him. It's not out. He gonna come in and Algier just gonna get benched. He too productive to bench him.
Yeah.
He too productive. He's still gonna get his yards. Bijan gonna get his yards. Yeah, I believe Bijan will have more yards. Tyler Algier might have more rushing yards, but I believe Bijan will have more all-purpose yards because that boy gonna be able to catch the ball. He's gonna be able to run the ball. And Algier, like I said, people gotta respect the Falcons' run game. It's gonna open up so much stuff. And like I said, Ritter, get a man. I give him 4 or 5 games. The man already got a chip on his shoulder. It's not like he didn't do like he was a scrub in college. He wasn't no scrub in college. And the thing about it is, what's the boy? Your boy Justin Fields ran a 4.45 40. And here it is. You got Ritter. You know the boy can run. He just didn't run yet. Like we got weapons, dude. So I respect everybody's opinion, but I have my own opinion as well, like everybody else. I think we're gonna be straight this year. I give us 10 to 12 games wins.
Lofty expectations. I like it, brother. I like it. All right, James, you came in next, bro. What's your thoughts about our 2023 NFL draft class? And if you want to talk on Bijan more specifically, you got the floor, homie.
I want to say good afternoon to everybody that's in the party for one.
Good afternoon.
Winston, I'm still giving you props, even though I gave you props on the page. You called it. You've been calling it from the beginning. I respect it. You got it right. Okay. When it comes down to everything and what's going on with that pick, it makes sense. And even though I wanted, in the past when I prior broadcast, I wanted them to address the pass rushing needs, which is, they did. I'm happy they did do that. They did get an in and everything like that. Let me make it sum it down. So with that being said, it makes sense. Due to the simple fact here, John, I get what you're saying, John, but overall, this is a 2 to 3 back league now. So each back serves its purpose within the offense and the scheme that they're in. Secondly, you got a 17-game stretch you got to come by. So with B. John being the extra running back, we needed that because if I'm not mistaken, Huntley is not coming back to October.
October, beginning of November.
Yeah, October. No, yeah, well, torn Achilles, torn meniscus.
And he
Either one of those.
Torn
Achilles.
Yeah, torn Achilles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So with that being said, at hand, we need to address that need. Running back was a need to be addressed. When it comes down to everything like that of that nature, once I seen the pick go, I was like, whoa. But then I started to realize why. Bijan Robinson is a one-of-a-kind back. I watched him when he played Bama and everything. Even though it was a low-scoring game, he was an impact in that game. Overall, he can run routes. He can catch out the backfield pretty much at hand. I looked at film on him last night again with CJ2K. And the way he cuts up the hole and everything like that, he's finna take over. He's probably gonna be the starter from day one.
So
that can't happen, but I'm gonna wait till everybody else talks.
And the reason why I say that because the fluidness of what he has and how he attacks the hole for one, and two, the fluidness on how he cuts up in the hole and how he gets to that second level is amazing. I'm gonna be real. Because at first I was thinking like, yeah, he may be the second team running back first starting off, but from what I'm looking at hand and stuff like that, and with that offensive line, which was top 5, top 10 in the league on the run last year, he gonna do numbers running the ball. I'm just be honest with you.
Quick question for you, James. Like staying right there. We won't even move yet, but do you really and I get it. He's the eighth pick, so he got to play. But does he come in a day one starter, replacing a guy that gave you over 1,000 yards, and he wasn't even a full time starter? I think Tyler started 6 or 7 games, averaged 4.9 yards per carry, and was a pretty good blocker. So so you think you just go ahead and push him out the way and just give Bijan the starting job, or do you
It
make him work a little
it
bit
will
for it?
be pretty much at hand. He gonna have to work for it because Arthur Smith doesn't. One thing I like about it, he just really doesn't give it to him. He has to earn it. But if you look at two dominating factors when it comes down to everything, for one, the A pick does a A pick. That's true. A pick, he won't push him out the way, but overall, he just more fluent. You could do a lot more with Bijan, with Tyler. A lot of Tyler passes were screens. If you go back and look at everything like that of that nature, a lot of them were screens. It wasn't really running back routes that he was running and catching. They had Cordell Patterson for that, but overall, they want to fluent Cordell Patterson around in the slot. I just see something different with it in this offense. With Cordell Patterson moving him to the slot, he will stay at running back, but that's on the tough yardage because you got a 6'2", 240-pound person. But Bijan could do that too, though. So it's really nothing in Bijan game that he really can't do. Even in pass blocking, he's pretty good at that. So overall, I just see him starting from day one. Now, for the rest of the draft, O lineman, the guard, they addressed that need. I thank God they just went in and just didn't take the most available player. I looked at his film from Syracuse. I'm gonna keep it long story short. I think he's a multiverse type of offensive lineman. When Matthews retired, he can be kicked out to the left tackle, and he just played that guard for right now.
Yeah, he
When
was
it comes
projected
down
late
to,
first round,
huh?
and he was projected late first round.
Right.
Mhm.
Secondly, with the dude from Ohio State, he has untapped potential. 5-star coming out of high school. I looked at his film as well. He has untapped potential. When it comes to the pass rush, when it comes to the run, he's going to be stout from the day one. But pass rushing, I leave that to Nilsson to get him together on that. That cornerback, he was one of the highest rated cornerbacks in the draft. And where
Yeah.
they got him at was a steal, to be honest. And the guard, just for backup play. And DeMarco Hellams, I'm a Bama fan, so I know a lot about DeMarco Hellams. I don't think he's probably one of them players that you put in the box because he's a great tackler. When it comes to coverage overall, he's suspect. Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee ate him up the whole game. Um, so, with that being said, that's a project. But long story short, overall with the draft class, I was happy for what they did because they did address the needs. That what we needed. So that's any other questions in regards?
We're gonna let Winston jump in. Winston, you got the floor, but what is your opinion or your thoughts on the overall draft? And if you want to continue to speak about Bijan, go ahead.
Uh, Overall, with the draft, I, I'm I'm happy with what we did. We didn't do nothing rash. We didn't sit there and trade up. This is the first time we didn't draft a player in the seventh round in this regime, and we picked two up. Um, we didn't have those middle picks, the fifth and sixth round. But I mean, I was thinking that we would trade back somewhere to pick up a fifth or sixth round pick. We didn't do it, and I'm fine with everybody that we got. Um, Clark Phillips, that's that is the best value pick that we had. Unanimous All American. I'm I'm an Oregon fan, so I've watched him. Phillips is a dog, and the only reason why he fell because he ain't he's short. He's 5'9". That's the only reason why he fell. If he was 6 feet, he'd have been the first cornerback come out the on board. Point
Exactly.
blank. He would
I
have been
feel
the
you on
first
that.
cornerback. Um, Phillips game is a lot like Weatherspoon. They very similar. Only thing is Weatherspoon a little bit taller and a little bit quicker, but like short area, he's nice. Um, with Bijan, everybody thinking like because Bijan here, Algiers not gonna get no play. Like, nah, that's dead. You gotta think about it. We are run first team anyway. I see them both getting about 15 carries a game. 12 to
Yeah.
15 carries a piece. And you gotta think about it. Bijan may not even get 15 carries. Bijan may only get like 8, 9, maybe 10. And he's out there playing in the slot, running routes and stuff. He gonna get his
Mhm.
touches, but it don't have to all come out of the backfield. Algier is a running back. He's a twin tackle. I'm a 4 yards in the cloud of dust. That's Algier. Bijan is electric. He's gonna get his touches regardless. So it's not gonna cut. It's not gonna cut into Algier carry. It's gonna cut into Patterson, Huntley, and Williams carry.
Mhm.
Like Algier has nothing to worry about. He's gonna get his carry. Everybody else, we'll find a way to get you out there on the field. That's, I mean, but I'm telling you, I'm excited about this one. That backfield will have potential to be like LT and Michael Turner over in San Diego when they was together.
Yeah.
All right, Winston, let me ask you a question.
Hey,
Because I know a lot of people don't think about it, but do you know how, but what you saying about him lining up in the slot, do you know how scary the offense is going to look with Algier in the backfield? You got Drake on one side. They put CP on the other side, put Pitts in that tight, and they put Bijan in the slot. Defense
Man,
is not going to know what to do, bro.
bro, like
They not going to
it,
know what to do.
and you got like it's so many things that this offense is now capable of doing. You got Pitts that run a 4-4. You got John Smith that runs like a high 4-4, low 4-5. Both of them big, stocky. You got two receivers on each side that's at least 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
220. You got B. John Robinson that is what 5'11", 215. You can put him in the slot. Or if you
Mm-hmm.
want to go extreme speed, put Scotty Miller out there. That's a 4-3 burner. You got a bruising back in the back with Algier that's what like 5'11", 225,
Mm-hmm.
230. Come on, man. Like it's so crazy how many things this offense is able to do now with the pieces that they have.
Yeah, because Algier, and Bijan, they're gonna be on the field at the same time a lot, man.
Oh, you better bet it.
A
You better
lot.
bet it.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of times. Gonna be Kyle Pitts and John Smith out there together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that and put B. John back in the backfield, who you gonna check? Like honestly, who are you really gonna check?
Yeah, and if Ritter got a quick release,
It's
it's gonna be
game over.
ugly.
It's game over. I'm
It's
telling
gonna
you,
be
it's game
ugly.
over.
All right, y'all. We got our guy Jimmy Wayne Hall in the building. How you doing, Jimmy?
Is
What's
that
going
Jimmy?
on, fellas?
Good, that's Jimmy.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, John?
Jimmy looked like he in the back of the warehouse.
He on the lunch break.
I might be.
First time me and you been in the same camp.
Oh yeah.
On time, man.
All right, Jimmy. What's your thoughts on our 2023 draft, and also if you want to give your take on the sort of controversial Bijan Robinson pick? You got the floor, brother.
Hold on, before he gets started, let everybody know that Jimmy is the Mel Kiper Jr. at Atlanta Bird game.
He is. He definitely is. That's him. We're gonna start calling him Jimmy Kiper Jr.
So I'll be honest. At first, I did think that they were gonna go Jalen Carter because he was sitting there in their lap, but everything pointed to Bijan Robinson, and the reason I saw that coming, when you look at what the Falcons are building currently, you have an agent Cordero Patterson, who's on the last year of his deal. Then you also have Tyler Algier, who, while he did get 1,000 yards, if everybody remembers coming out of college, the biggest issue with Tyler Algier was everybody thought he was going to have fumble problems coming into the NFL. So while he did have 1,000 yards last year, he's still an unproven commodity long term. So if you're going to run the football, you need two guys to rotate in and out to where it keeps them fresh, to where you don't run down one of the running backs. So Bijan made a lot of sense because Like everybody said, he can run, he can catch, he can do it all. He's a Swiss Army knife out of the backfield. Then you go second round, and everybody harped on it saying, oh man, we picked up a guard, gave up picks to go get him. But where this kid had a first round grade, the only knock on him was his pass blocking ability. But the run blocking ability, everybody said that this dude is nasty when it comes to run blocks.
Yes, he
So it
is.
gives you a
Yes, he
run
is.
blocking guard on that left side, which is what we were missing. Then you get down to Clark Phillips, which, like everybody said, small in stature but big in heart. The young man knows how to play football. He is a great, to me, and he even said it. He can do man, he can do zone, whatever you need him to do, he's gonna get there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes into the starting nickel cornerback spot. With what I've seen from what he has on tape, he is that good. And then you get down to DeMarco Helms. And as I told everybody, the only issue that Helms has, and you even saw it when he played against Georgia, Helms' only issue is he cannot cover deep. But if you ask him to go into the box and play that box in safety type linebacker role, he is amazing in those situations, which means you might see him on the field when it comes to run stops. If they have guys trying to get short yardage, that's going to be his role. So overall, I give the draft a B plus. I mean, it still had room for improvement, but for what we got, I mean, we filled some needs, and we still have room that we can improve if we don't do so great next year. But I will say, I'm going to give us at least 11 wins. I know that's lofty, but I think with how the NFC South is currently built, the only team Atlanta may have to worry about in the South is the Saints, because rookie quarterbacks traditionally don't take their teams to the playoffs the first year. So I'm not expecting that from Carolina. And with the Bucks are about to go on back to be the Tampa Bay Sucks, because I don't trust Baker Mayfield.
Bro,
Just
Bryce
saying.
gonna be running for his life when he play us.
Oh
And you better
yes.
bet it.
He gonna be running for his life.
Tampa had a good draft though. Tampa had a sneakily good
They
draft,
actually did. Like, it's
and
funny.
a lot of people not. Bring, go ahead, bro.
I don't know if anybody saw it, but there's a picture floating out there where they had Bryce Young standing next to Icky, whatever the tackle's name is that they
The
Yeah.
got last year.
picture.
And when I say
Makes
the
him look like a
size
little kid.
between them two guys, I was like, oh my God.
Man.
And
Okay,
another
y'all.
thing, y'all gotta include Okuda and Smoot in that draft class too, though.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
you
gotta
traded
include
for him. You gave draft capital for him, so you got to include him.
you gotta include them in the draft class.
All right, y'all. We got two comments that really coincide with one another, and I'd like y'all to give me some feedback. The first one is coming from Kelly. He says it's a two to three back league, and none of them typically are going to last more than 4 to 5 years. Ms. B follow up right behind. She says, "Man, he got taken at number 8. He about to get ran into the ground." So y'all, I mean, are we concerned about durability with a top 8 picking a running back? John Harris, what you think?
Well, I got a question I need to ask.
Go ahead.
Now, Emmitt Smith, those types of back, what was their life expectancy?
During the 90s?
Yeah, back in the 90s, because that was the heyday of the running back. 90s.
Years.
Thing about that, it was either the quarterback or the running back that was getting the big contract, the big signing bonus, the big multi-year contract. And the life expectancy of the running back, it was around about 7 to 8 years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I would say
years.
Yeah, maybe 8-9 years, because Emmett and Barry played 10, and remember we said he retired early after 10 years.
Right.
Now that's a long career in the NFL for a running back.
So, and see, that's the thing that I'm alluding to, because the value of the running back dropped off of a cliff. Say, what year was that? What year was that? Can you remember? Can you guys remember Winston?
It was at least in the 2000s for sure.
Right. In the 2000s, the life expectancy of a running back just dropped off because, see, you remember when we had Turner, shoot, nobody wanted him. Same thing. Same thing with your boy Toddy.
Don't do that, John. Don't do that.
I mean, but the reason I'm saying that is because the running back was about to be completely phased out of the offense.
That's true. They're just kind of making a little comeback now. You're right.
Yeah. Now, New England was the first team when, they came down here, grabbed a lineman and Sony Michel and won a Super Bowl that year with the acquisition that he got down here. So the reason why I'm asking this is, okay, I want to run the ball. I definitely want to run the ball. However, I don't want to be so committed to the run that I can't pass. Okay? Because now last year, when we were running the ball, we had some of the longest yardage heavy drives in the NFL. 70-yard drives, 80-yard drives, eating up bukus of clock. What I don't want to happen is that our offense gets to be so slow that if we fall behind, we can't catch up.
Yeah,
that's my main concern. And just to answer your question, I'm gonna leave right there because this is bridging into something else that I need to discuss or bring up when the time is right.
Well, let me ask you this before you stop, John. You made a point when you first came on. If you want to expand on that, I would love to hear it. But you said it was like going to Home Depot or Lowe's and you bought a brand new Samsung refrigerator in July, and then you went right back to Lowe's and you bought another one before Christmas. Like can you explain that more in detail? Or are you just saying we didn't need that because we already had a brand new fridge?
Yeah, basically, because if you already now, the other gentleman that went right behind my man here said, this man, was a kind of a Swiss Army knife type of back, and Winston and I talked about that last night. However, you got Tyler Algier, you got Huntley. That's on injury reserve. You got another back. I can't remember his name because we hardly ever.
Avery Williams.
Who?
Yeah, Avery Williams.
Avery Williams.
Yeah.
You
But
got.
he's a cornerback.
A special team cornerback guy.
Yeah, he's a cornerback.
Yeah.
He's a cornerback. He was returning punt because he couldn't get on the field at corner. Then they tried to bring him over to the offense to be a change of pace back. He's a cornerback.
Well,
then you got Cordell Patterson, and he's a wide receiver.
Exactly.
Well, hold on, wait. Cordero said he told us he's an athlete.
He is. He most definitely is.
But see, the Falcons have him listed in the running back room. Because I checked. I was looking at it, so that's why I called his name. That's why I called his name.
Mhm.
And you got Cordell Patterson. Now, you needed a running back. Okay, you said you needed a running back, but you got a man that's run for 1,000 yards that wasn't even started. So you already have a running back. Why did you need to get another? That was my question. But, after Winston and I talked about it last night, and, he was telling me about how versatile this person was, I said, okay, well, I can kind of see that. But I was still looking at this offensive line because the problem with the offensive line right now is flipped. Because coming into this season, what we were saying. Everybody knows what we were saying. Oh, Lord, these jokers, we can't run. But after the New Orleans game and a couple of games later, I said, oh, my goodness, man, we just ran right over them. We were mauling people. Especially when I saw how big McGarry he got, because Ty, I tell everybody, McGarry looked like Bane from Batman. He got that little pump on him, pumping that juice in it. I mean, this joke was
John, he knew it was a
That man put that
contract
work
year.
in.
He knew it was a contract year.
Yeah, I mean, he would, man. He really transformed himself, and that was surprising, especially because of the heart situation that he came into. Okay, that we were worried about. So everything flipped. We can now run, but we can't pass block. Okay, so everything left of Lindstrom was a question mark for me as far as pass blocking was concerned. All right. So now the people that we've gotten now kind of address that. Okay. But as I always say, get
Take
it off
it out the
paper.
put it on the
Put it
field.
on the field.
I don't
Sure
know. I don't know. And everybody, you have rose expectations for these people, and so do I. But I got to see it on the field before I relax. Everything looks good. I can understand the excitement and everything. But after 59 years of Falcon football, and I learned a lesson in 2013, and so did the Falcons. We were okay with what we had drafted. We were okay with what we had got until we played Cincinnati in a scrimmage game. And it was just like Danger Island. Y'all used to watch Banana Split. Chungo.
Yeah, but
We
both
got
our
a
starting
problem.
corners were gone.
Yeah, I mean, we got a problem because Cincinnati just tore us up. So I've learned to say, okay, y'all went to the store, y'all went and got this, y'all went and got that, and you shopped at a better store this year. You didn't have to go to Dollar Tree. You went to Walmart. You went to Target. You got some good pieces. Let's see what you got.
All right.
Yeah, I think like, especially with CP, like Cordell Patterson, with him playing his natural position instead of him being in the backfield, I believe I'm pretty sure this is gonna be his last year.
Yeah.
I'm almost guaranteed it's gonna be his last year. But with him playing his natural position at wide receiver, he's still gonna be dangerous. It's just the fact that with him, and you gotta look at it, they was using CP as almost an every down back too when he was back there. And it took a toll on his body.
That
He's
was the
not
issue.
that young. He's not that young dude he used to be, man. And I believe, he's gonna be a real threat out there at wide receiver. I don't even see him really touching the backfield this year. And that's just me being honest.
You gotta think about
I don't see him touching the backfield at all this year, and I think they'll use him as the weapon that he is, running back kick returns and putting him out there wide receiver. Outside of
CP was
that,
never a dynamic wide receiver. I think he had 2 seasons over 700 yards.
hey, they still got
I
to
mean,
respect him though.
he's a number 2, number 3 type of receiver. He's an extreme athlete. You put the ball in his hand, he could do something with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why they switched him to running back, because if we can run block, we give the ball to you more immediately than what you do on a kick return. You got the open field vision to turn something into nothing, but nothing into something. And I think that's why they put him back there at running back.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, now I see this comment you got up here from Millie Mills.
Hey, Millie Mills a nut, man.
Tell Millie Mills something. You went to the store and got all that stuff in this refrigerator that you have here now. Okay, you just went and got another one just because it got a TV screen in it. But a refrigerator is supposed to keep food cold and keep food from getting spoiled. That's the purpose of the refrigerator.
We got a refrigerator and we got a deep freezer.
Yeah,
they both do what they're supposed to do.
Hey, Winston, you can't buy but so many groceries you gonna cook. It's gonna spoil in the refrigerator.
That's why you need the deep freezer.
But one other thing. Why is Cordarrelle Patterson returning kicks? Why do you have man at his advantage?
Because outside of Patterson, you really don't have another kick returner on this team. I'm just gonna be honest.
You got Williams.
Avery Williams. Avery Williams
wouldn't put him back there.
Decent, but
but see, okay, but
I mean, Williams led the league in punt return yards last year per average.
Okay,
per
we'll
average.
give him that.
Yeah. Now, Now I'm gonna tell you something. When Cordarrelle Patterson fumbled, when he was carrying, then went back there and took it from the back of the end zone all the way to the house. I was excited, but I was kind of concerned because, see, okay, a Swiss Army knife at that age is either not going, the scissors ain't going to work or the knife ain't going to cut. One
Or
of the two.
that little corkscrew on there be bent a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and Cordarrelle did miss some time this year, right?
Right. I think he
Yeah,
missed
he was on
like
injured
3
reserve.
games.
Yeah, he did miss a little time. And matter of fact, someone pointed out to me that Cordarrelle Patterson hasn't, finished the season without being injured a little bit. So, his time is coming. So my thing is, why do you put this man on punt and kick return? Why didn't you, or you need to, I just say that, you need to identify somebody, perhaps go get somebody to put back there. Because see, Cordarrelle Patterson, one thing that I've seen about Cordarrelle Patterson, his vision is, man, it's just like this. Joe got X-ray vision.
Yeah.
Because he runs as a running back like a kickoff and punt return. Boop, 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 boop. He's decisive. If he goes here, he goes there, or whatever, And well, that's valuable to teach the younger generation. You don't have to demonstrate it. You getting too old to demonstrate.
You want to be Udonis Haslem. Sit at the end of the bench and mentor.
Dirt and draw something in dirt for the younger. Don't risk your life out there.
I don't know. I see us giving Patterson a 1-year extension just because he's just a fan favorite, man.
Yeah.
I see him getting a vet minimum 1-year extension.
It's possible if he can produce. It's going to be based on his production. If he can prove that, like, look, I got 2 or 3 more years left in me, I think they would consider it.
I think that's this year right here.
You got to look at it too. Like next offseason, man, we could possibly have $100 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
So sitting there shooting CP a contract for like $2-3 million, that ain't ruffling no feathers.
Oh yeah, I take.
And to keep a fan favorite here. You see what I'm saying? He's a fan favorite. It's been a while since this team had someone that they really flocked to, like CP. And he's active on all social media, and everybody love it.
Yeah, he recruited too.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Great recruiter. Yo, let me ask everybody this, and this is gonna be an unofficial prediction because the schedule hadn't came out yet, and the actual schedule and the home games and away games is gonna play a big deal in this prediction. But this is just unofficial, y'all. So, we're not gonna hold anybody to these predictions until the schedule comes out and maybe around training camp. But I'm gonna go around the panel. After the draft, we'll start with you, Jimmy. After the draft, what's your win-loss prediction for the 2023 Falcons? Again, this is unofficial, so everybody who's listening, y'all can't hold us to this. We got to wait at least till the schedule come out.
Okay. I honestly, like I said, see us winning no less than 10 games. I think we can go 10-7.
10-7. All right, Winston, what you got?
10-7 low win. 12-5 top.
Ooh, 12-5. Okay, all right. Antonio.
10-7, 11-6.
10-7, 11-6. All right, John.
Winning our division too.
I don't know why you be asking.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what my standard in total is. 4-12.
4-13.
Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about that. 4-13. Now, I always leave room for surprise. So, Falcon, your job is to surprise me.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of room, Buck.
Oh yeah.
I seen your picture up at Flowery Branch too.
Huh?
I seen your picture up there, all that Flowery Branch too. They said you better not bring your ass out, man.
Well, it's not for this prediction that my picture is up there because I hang foot in training camp.
John, then you said they kick you out 1 year.
Oh
Yeah, that's why I picture up.
Oh, it's over.
yeah.
He
They
can't
call
even come on the street.
I
Dang.
You
told
can't get close to the Falcon logo.
Mm-mm.
The
Yeah.
sign.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been look, and it's all because of love of the team. You know, Matt Ryan was doing this same old thing, sitting up there staring at Julio. Everybody oohing and ahhing. Ooh, ah, he caught the ball. What? Quit staring at the man, Ryan. Sir, you're gonna have to cut all that noise out when y'all stop that man from staring at folks. When you stop that man from staring at folks, Steve in here. Okay. I said, when you stop that man from staring at people, he'll be able to complete that pass for real. But as long as you sit up here staring at the man from the time he got dressed in the morning until you decide to throw him the ball, how the world that man gonna get open? You're drawing coverage to him. Everybody knows it. So hey, that's the way I roll. You know, hey man, I don't pull no punches. Don't
We
pull
got
no.
to clear you a spot for a deer stand so you can look at him from a distance.
Hey man, they moved everything away from people. Once that man hit Matt Ryan in the head with that football, he was trying to sign it.
I remember that. They moved everybody back.
Oh man, they moved the team further away from the hill up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know they can come down there, but you know the rules is don't throw nothing. This man can't catch a cold.
Y'all, we got a question from our favorite Uncle Steve in the building. Y'all make sure to click
What's going on,
his profile
What's going on up?
and shoot him a sub and run the likes, run the comments up. But Steve says, gents, Larry brought up a good point about Bijan possibly being the next face of the Falcons. While I agree, the quarterback should be, in my opinion, but well, you know, thoughts. So what are y'all thoughts about Bijan possibly being the face of the Falcons, or should that be something that's specifically reserved for the quarterback? And that's in our case, Desmond Ritter. Anybody free to answer?
It should be the quarterback, but Bijan is right now the most exciting thing going on in Atlanta. So I mean, until Ritter go out there and he make the plays, the winning plays, and establish himself, it's gonna be Bijan.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, like it's Bijan right now, but it should be the quarterback. But if you look at Bijan, he's real marketable.
Yeah.
Like the boy, he speaks well. You know, he carries himself well. He don't have a whole lot of baggage. Well, he don't, from what I understand, he don't have no baggage with him. And if you just look at him as a person, if you really like sit down and listen to this man talk, you can tell he was raised right.
Yep.
He's a heavy believer in God.
Yep.
Man, like I said, he got that smile and the stuff that people want. And Arthur Smith, like I said, when they did their due diligence on this boy, they actually built a real relationship with him leading up to the draft.
Yep.
They took They took Taco down there with him. These boys done been out to eat. They done went and met this man's family. They done chilled together. They had this man working out. And then just to look at him as a person, he real marketable. So I can see where and he gonna fill a seat.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you just said, Antonio. And not only that, he kind of like the style of entertainment that Atlanta fans tend to cater to is it's kind of the style that he plays football. He ain't no bruiser. Like he gonna get the ball. He gonna stutter step like Barry. He gonna spin. He gonna catch out the backfield. He's exciting to watch, and that's what the Atlanta fan base, like I say, tends to cater to. So he fits a lot of the things we like as far as the guys that we tend to get behind. We got behind.
We also known for that hood shit. You know how they look at us.
That's true.
Like, Atlanta the hood, and look at the people that they have backing for them, and the people they have performing for them, and all this other stuff. They look at us as the hood, hood franchise of the NFL.
That's true.
When you can put a different face on it.
I was saying old Oakland.
Yeah, when you can put a different face on it, that's something different. That's gonna be big for us.
Right.
True.
And don't let Ritter cut up. If Ritter cut up.
Now, if Ritter end up being a true baller, he's gonna be the face of the franchise,
exactly.
and I think that's what Steve's alluding to.
Right.
Because the quarterback will have the ball in his hand with every play essentially on offense.
Yeah, because that man gonna have a real chip on his shoulder this year for real.
All right, speaking of Ritter, let's go down that line real quick, y'all. We could come back to the draft if y'all want to, but on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll start with you, Antonio. What's your confidence level in your quarterback going into 2023? A scale of 1 to 10.
Right now, it's gonna be a 6 or 7, but it's room to go up. It's room to go up based on because, like I said, with his 4 game resume, that's not enough for me to sit up there and say, like everybody say, oh, he squishy or he's sorry spoke and all. Nah, that's not my view of him. He hasn't had the time to play. The game hasn't caught up with him yet. And like I said, people treat this man like he doesn't have an arm. The man didn't throw an interception in his 4 games. I mean, him and Drake was connecting on a regular. Pitts wasn't even out there. It wasn't like he really didn't have nobody to throw to besides Drake London. Be honest and prove it.
Yeah. And my boy
Yeah, OZ out there. Yeah, OZ out there.
He ain't there. But
OZ was getting off on Mariota. And when Ritter, OZ was getting off on Mariota. And
yeah, but
when Ritter came along, he forgot all about OZ.
Yeah, but OZ was catching them short balls. It was just like you compare. Look at Tim Tebow, right? Tim Tebow was just great quarterback. How? Look who he was throwing to. He was throwing 10, 15-yard passes, and you throwing the what's his name? Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin.
He's throwing to Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin. Mariota throw for 10 yards. Percy Harvin go for 80. Mariota couldn't really get nobody the ball, not consistently, and he was inaccurate as hell.
That's the biggest
I
key.
give him a 6. I give him a 6, 7. I would be like the first 4 games. It might even go to an 8 if he go out there and he do his thing, because he's been working all season.
Yeah, he have. John, where you at on your confidence scale from a scale of 1 to 10 on your quarterback?
Poor Ritter.
Oh Lord.
Poor Ritter.
I knew it was coming. He ain't even on his scale.
See, and I've gone over this ad infinitum last year, and I still stick to my guns this year. And I have to say poor Mariota, because neither of these people got quality quarterback training when they got here to Flowery Branch. You had, and Jimmy, I've talked about it. Winston knows. He heard me talk about it.
What do you mean, John? You mean just a random running back shouldn't be able to coach the quarterback? You mean what you prejudiced toward running backs being quarterback coach? What's going on?
Hey, I really like that draw out time.
I've been watching ESPN and Fox Sports, man.
That's just like trying to get a plumber to put a roof on your house.
Yeah.
That's just like trying to get a painter to put a transmission in your car. NFL quarterback, starting quarterback, is the most important, most prestigious position on the football field.
North American sport.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. In American sports, because
American sport is the most important position.
Yeah, I mean, he just like Trey Young is to the Hawks, Ritter is to the Falcons. So you draft this man, 3rd round. You get him here. You said we gonna coach him up. You remember all the pump up about him playing for Cincinnati, him almost beating Georgia. He's doing all this stuff. I mean, the pump up was real, man. I mean, I thought he was going to take off and fly the way they were pumping the man up after the, 3rd round pick. Then you get him here. And Jordan Palmer coached him. Jordan Palmer coached him in order to get prepared for the draft. Gets drafted and comes here. And for 3 preseason games, He played only 4 games, 13 regular season games. He didn't get any coaching. None. What you saw was residue from Jordan Palmer's training, because Charles London did not teach that man a damn thing. Nothing. Because he was incapable of teaching it. Then Charles London leave here, go to Tennessee, and become their offensive coordinator. And if you look at Tennessee's media guide, Charles London has an extensive background in quarterbacking because he coached for 2 years down at the Atlanta Falcons, led Matt Ryan to 3,900 yards passing, and Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota were the only quarterbacks in the NFL to be able to complete a 60-yard pass with a 30-mile headwind. What the hell is that? What is that? You sit up here, padded your resume. Now, if you want to see some stat padding, that was some stat padding for your rear end right there.
Yes,
to go and get a job up there in Tennessee. Now, the thing that really hurt Ridder, was Brock Purdy out there in San Francisco. That really hurt Ridder because this man helped San Francisco win 9 straight with the best quarterback coaching available. Kyle Shanahan and who was it? Brian Greasy. That man was Mr. Irrelevant, the very last man picked in the draft, and you turned that man into a star. But look at what we got up here. Our coach, head coach, everybody asking him, when is Ridder going to get on the field? He's not ready yet. When is Ridder coming out? He ain't ready yet. You damn right he ain't ready. You don't have nobody to get him ready. You didn't have nobody here to get the man ready. Now, thank God that he got some training from Jordan Palmer, and he's training with Jordan Palmer now. Okay, I confirmed it, made sure, because there were some people saying that Jordan Palmer was coaching him during the regular season. And I confirmed, no, the NFL doesn't do that. They don't allow outside people to do that. Plus the fact Jordan Palmer was coaching quarterbacks in the XFL prior to their season starting. But the thing is, thank goodness he has that's helping him coach, okay, or helping him play. Now, his new quarterback coach is Dave Ragone. Now, Dave Ragone was supposed to be the offensive coordinator last year. Really? Who was running the offense last year? Your head coach. So Dave Ragone, who everybody was saying that ruined Mitchell Trubisky, he's now going to be influencing Desmond Ridder for 17 weeks of the regular season, 3 weeks of the preseason. That's why
and 4 weeks of the postseason.
That's why everybody has a question mark as far as what Ridder's going to do, because see, now Dave Ragone couldn't coach a pregnant woman in Lamar's class.
Oh my God. Oh Lord.
So this is why my angst is here. And that's why I say poor Ridder, because is he going to get good training up here? How to, because quarterback coach, I remember Kyle Shanahan when he used to get at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, go to the chiropractor, get adjusted so you can turn your head. Get adjusted so you can turn your head. And that simple thing that Matt Ryan did, where you look one way and throw the other way, that's how he was able to throw to 13 different receivers and throw touchdowns. Yeah, and I see this little comment. John ain't said nothing positive all night. Stop asking this question. Okay. You all see this is the thing about Falcons. They love the crap. They love that nose candy. They love all that positive stuff until the negative stuff comes. Well, we'll get them next year. We'll go ahead. No.
Well, we all gotta wait till next year.
Put it on the field. Get it off the paper and put it on the field. Okay? And look at the weapons the man had around him. Well, okay. Who are you talking about? Who they talking about?
To my Ritter.
Talking about Ritter for last season.
But see, I look, I'm not judging.
No, my bad, John. He talking about because he followed up a comment. He talking about Purdy. He said Purdy had Kittle, Debo Samuel, McCaffrey out the backfield, and the other great receiver they had, number 11. Can't think of his name. So he's talking about Purdy.
He's talking about Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand all that. What did Purdy have to do? Just throw the ball. Just put the ball where the receivers could use it. This man was Mr. Irrelevant.
That got a lot to do with Kyle Shanahan too.
Now, let me tell you something. Now
he fell to the perfect spot.
Yeah, because he training. Because what were you saying?
No, I said he fell to the best spot. Like as Mr. Irrelevant, your career strategy is supposed to be a journeyman, maybe project quarterback, a patchwork starter if needed.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't supposed to be doing none of the stuff that he did last year. And if it weren't for Kyle Shanahan, it wouldn't happen. If he had went to the Patriots, last year and all their quarterback went down, Brock Purdy probably wouldn't be on the team this year. Or he'd be on the practice squad.
It's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, it was Kyle Shanahan. And see, thing is, 9 teams passed over Purdy. They didn't think he was nothing.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If Shanahan was here, you don't think he'll have Ritter showing out?
Yes, he would.
Exactly.
Ritter would have been on the field way back in week 6.
Exactly.
And that is my point. I have people here that are coaching. That don't know what they're doing. And what is Steve talking about?
Steve said when John speaks long about a player, Matty Ice Ritter is his Atlantic Star's secret level football crush. He'll have a Ritter jersey laying across that chair next week.
I can always, you know what? I tell Steve all the time. That Matt Ryan jersey, if you turn it inside out, it's a good car wash rag.
John, did you ever buy a Matt Ryan jersey?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, hold on, John. But you still got to give us your rating on a scale of 1 to 10. What's your confidence level for Ritter?
It all depends on whether he can exceed the programming here. I'm gonna stay at a 5. I'm gonna stay at a 5.
That ain't bad.
I'll take that from you though.
Me too. I'm surprised, Antonio. I thought you were about to say.
I thought it was gonna be like -3.
No. I see. The thing is, I saw some flashes in Ritter last year where I knew that he picked up what Jordan Palmer was teaching him. Okay, because that was the only person teaching. Okay, now, and because of that, just like you said, my man, things can only go up. Now, that's why the offensive line was important to me, too, because, I was listening to the Super Bowl. I don't know if anybody caught it during the Super Bowl. Andy Reid wants Patrick Mahomes to get rid of the ball in less than 2 seconds. He wants that offense to be so fast that the defense can't react.
But you know who's coaching Mahomes?
That's my point.
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick.
Yeah, you better go and do your research.
So Michael Vick coached
Michael Vick has been coaching that boy since he's been in the league.
Okay.
Go look at the relationship.
John, we gotta look that one up.
Yeah,
look it up.
That's the first time I heard that one.
I ain't never heard that one.
That boy got a great relationship with Andy Reid. Mahomes said it himself. Look it up.
Okay, now this is the thing. Andy Reid with his offense.
I'll put the link in the chat.
That's Andy Reid's offense.
Antonio, and I'll post it.
Bieniemy and wanted to give Bieniemy all this stuff, but that's Andy Reid's offense. And Andy Reid has been a guru even in Philadelphia. He was a guru even in Philadelphia. So my thing is, Michael Vick definitely enhances what Andy Reid has on paper as far as his offense is concerned. Because anytime you go behind the line and have folks spinning in a doggone circle and then busting out and coming into a formation, I just said, oh my God, why can't we do something like that? But I don't expect that. I don't expect that out of my head coach.
Read it. What that say?
I can't.
It's actually out there.
I'm about to put it in the link.
Put the link up and then I'll post it so we can read it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually out there.
All right, James, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
They coached him since he was a rookie.
All right, James, your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 for your quarterback Desmond Ridder going into 2023.
I'm gonna say a 7.
7. Okay, that's very high.
So, because for the simple fact it is, John pointed out a couple things with him working with Jordan Palmer for one. For two, during that 4-game stretch, you've seen actually some progressions with him. When it comes down to Riddler and everything, I've been watching him in college and everything like that of that nature. He has a rocket arm, very quick. Once he learns the scheme and everything, he gets the ball placement where he wanted it to be. I feel very confident that he will do that this year. Because if you think about it, Drake London, 6'5", Kyle Pitts, 6'6". You got Mac, what's his name? Mac, like 6'4" if he played. Matt Collins, 6'4". So with that being said, at hand, he really doesn't have any short receivers that he just have to, lead the ball out there like that. With those players and everything like that of that nature, it's just a one-on-one jump ball with those boys. And I feel very confident he can do that because he's one of those quarterbacks that progresses on a year-to-year basis. I follow him at Cincinnati, and he progressed every year that he was in that system and scheme. So with that being said at hand, that's why I said the confidence with him. My only concern with him is when it comes to critical situations. Mm-hmm. When it comes to critical situations in the games, on how he react. And the reason being is that I go back to when he played Bama his last year. And how Bama jumped on him, because they were basically running the ball, keeping the ball out of his hands. So he panicked a little bit because he knows that if Bama gets the ball again, that the game might be over. So he panicked in that playoff game against Bama. So that's really my only concern with him overall. But I think he will progress this year because he has that chip on his shoulder. And he has to back the words up that he said once he got drafted to the Falcons, that I will not leave until I win a Super Bowl. So he got to back it up.
I definitely like that statement. That made me a little more confident. So we got James coming in at a 7. Tonio said a 5 or a 6.
No, I said depending. A 6 or 7.
6 or 7, my bad.
And John I put that link in the chat and I posted it on the page.
Okay, I'm about to put it up too. John said a 5. And shout out to my dog, Big Low Country in the building. What in the world, Bo? Y'all do me a favor, man. Click on Low Profile on YouTube, man. And if you ain't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Run up the comments, run up the likes. And so Jimmy, spotlight on you, my brother. Confidence level, scale of 1 to 10.
This is going to actually shock a lot of people, but my confidence level at Mr. Ridder going into this season is a 9.
What?
I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, whoa now. Hold on.
A 9?
A 9. And I'm going to tell you why.
Now, hold on, John. Hold on, Jimmy, before you start. Now, we said Ridder and not Mahomes now. You understand it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm still sticking with my 9.
Jimmy, what's in them bricks you got back there?
You got asbestos in or something.
Have a brick back there, man.
Here's why I give it a 9.
Okay.
So, 2 reasons. 1, you get Kyle Pitts back, which gives him an extra receiving target that he did not have last year. So he doesn't have to force feed Drake London like he did last year. I think that kind of limited what the offense could do because you only had one receiver that he really was confident with. So in getting Kyle Pitts back and in also adding a Mac Hollins, who is also a taller receiver, it gives him several guys to actually look at and try to get the ball down the field. Now, you add in the fact that he now has three capable running backs out of the backfield. There is no reason that he shouldn't be able to do what he needs to get the ball upfield. The only reason I won't give him a 10 is because he only had a 4-game showing, and there were some games that he did look a little bit shaky. But the progression in each game, I feel confident enough to say, minimum, I think he can give us at least 200 yards, 2 touchdowns passing every game. I mean, is that fair to ask of him? If your running backs are putting up at least 150 yards, really, if they getting 100 yards a game, and your quarterback can get you 200, that's not an unfair ask of any team.
So let me ask you this. So you said at least 200
Yeah,
yards and 2 touchdowns.
At least 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns.
So
Should
do
be
you?
easy.
So let me ask you this: the way the league is set up now, and the way Arthur Smith is going into the scheme, because I do think he's going to go back to more passing because he has that confidence and really to do that. So do you think 250 is obtainable with 2 touchdowns?
I
I
do.
honestly do because he actually got close to it a couple of games last year. I
Fact.
think he can.
Now, this is the problem. In Tennessee, what was the feature of that offense?
Derrick Henry.
King
There
Henry.
him.
Now, that's the thing that scares me. That's the thing that really scares me as far as him opening it up. Okay, that's the thing that scares me, because the thing is that Tennessee, even now, Derrick Henry is the feature. And they're about to get rid of Tannehill and Willis because they just took a quarterback. Okay, now you got this man that was down here, just like I enumerated, and he's going back up there. This offense that we had this year was heavy on the run. Heavy on the run. You just drafted another running back. Okay. Now, granted, he's supposed to be a kind of a Swiss Army knife, but Arthur Smith, I've learned not to doubt him. I've learned not to doubt him because, when Matt Ryan was here, we ran basically the same offense we had been running ever since Matt Ryan was here. Okay. Tried to run, but couldn't. The only thing we could do was pass. So, 250 yards. Well, like I say in all things, they're gonna have to show me. They're gonna have to show me because trying to predict
And
it,
see,
they're gonna have to show me. They just gonna have to show me.
so,
I'm even there.
but John, let me say this: when it came down to the first, if you remember the first 4 to 5 games, Arthur really tried to open up the offense to the passing game. We just had M1 that
He
couldn't
couldn't
throw
throw.
worth the damn. So when it came down to it, he had to revert back to heavy running to control the clock. Because if you look at the Saints game, he was throwing it pretty regular with M1. It was just that at that point, M1 was overthrowing the receivers. He
Turning the
really
ball
couldn't put the
over.
ball on the money. So
Mhm.
with that being said, again, Arthur really wants to open up that offense to the passing with the play action. Also, when it goes to like 36, 37, he does have some good route combinations that can get open. But overall, you got to look. And one was horrible. I'm going to be honest with you. He was garbage. He was garbage when he threw the ball. And I looked at, I have coaches around me that I talk to on a daily basis. They're like offensive coordinators. And, I have one of my best buds actually put Charles Cross in the league, the offensive tackle from
Tackle for Seattle.
the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
He put him, he was his high school coach and the offensive coordinator for him. So, and I talked to him. He said, man, M1, throwing motion is horrible.
Always
It's
have been.
garbage.
Always
you
have
can
been.
see
It's
Even
that
in
on
He got the
Oregon.
same throwing motion he had in college.
Yep.
He
So,
just never
right.
sat there and worked on it.
so now my question is, with all of the other quarterbacks that were available since you blew Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Watson didn't come here, which made Matt Ryan get in his feelings and want to leave, why did you bring Mariota here?
Because he knew Arthur Smith's system.
But he can't throw in
And
it. He couldn't throw in it, and you didn't have anybody here to help him get better at throwing.
All right,
LaMichael
I'll answer
James.
your question, John. At that point in time, we really didn't have many options.
True.
Didn't.
Because
So
it
you go
will,
with the one you know.
free agency had started, and then
Mhm.
we were broke. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, now there were it was two or three good quarterbacks that were out there. I have to look it up, but you had two or three good quarterbacks out there, but anything other than Marcus Mariota. Okay.
We let all of them go because we were sitting there waiting to see what Deshaun was gonna do.
yeah,
So by the time
True.
the Deshaun thing fell through, only viable option was to get Mariota. Can Mariota?
Look, hey, Winston, you could have got Fitzpatrick.
yeah.
You could have got Fitzpatrick. Now,
Is that a scheme fit though, John?
hold up. Now, Fitzpatrick has had his bags packed ever since he came into the league. He'll go and win you about 3 or 4 games or whatever, and it would be exciting. It would be viable. It would be way better than what you had with Mariota had you had a choice. I understand what y'all saying. That most
Fitzpatrick got his back broke playing behind our offensive line last year.
He
can't move.
Hey, everybody, everybody. That eventuality faced everybody playing behind our line. But
okay. Well, let me ask y'all this: Was Mariota really that bad in hindsight?
Yes.
yes.
He was bad, but the offense was better with him at him.
I won't be in the minority here, but I don't think he was that bad. Y'all.
Man, if you look at Mariota throwing motion, especially on the quick routes in the RPO scheme, and how he set up his throwing motion, he was really 1 or 2 seconds behind when he threw the ball. Prime instance, how Pitts got hurt last year again when he got hit on his knees.
Yeah.
That ball was behind him. Mariota was garbage.
But look,
you need a dumpster truck for Mariota.
I can't call it garbage though, bro. Because
Pitts got
Mariota.
hurt because Pitts try to break up and go upfield. If Pitts went on, caught the ball and went down like he's supposed to, because he had yards for the first down, he would have been straight. You can't put that on Mariota.
But if you look at how that ball was thrown, if you look at how that ball was thrown, overall, that ball should have hit Pitts on the money. He had to go out and get that ball. If you remember,
that's why he should have went down.
That was the whole. He should have went down. Trust and believe. I agree with you on that stand. But that placement of that motion of that ball
and beyond it, you catch the ball, you go down. You secure the ball, go down. He tried to make a move and go upfield, and that's how he got hit in the knee. That's not on Mariota.
That's on Mariota, whoa. I'm trying to tell you. Because I looked at that play like 9, 10 times.
Okay, now I used to get at Matt Ryan about the same doggone thing. I used to get at Matt Ryan about the same thing. You throwing late, you staring at the man. Julio got a slant. You supposed to throw the ball in front of Julio so he runs and meets it, but you throwing it behind him. You having to reach back and get it. Now, I got roasted because you can't throw the ball perfect all the time, and I understand that. However, where do you work those timing situations out? You work them out in practice with a real quarterback coach, somebody who can coach the quarterbacks on where to put the ball. You didn't have that. That's why I said poor Mariota, and poor Ritter, because you didn't have anybody that'll teach them that stuff. Terrence Mathis, and Tidy, you remember I posted that where Terrence Mathis was talking about, hey, you go in the quarterback room, you got somebody in the quarterback room that doesn't even know how to talk to the quarterbacks because you don't know the language. You don't know anything about how to place balls. There used to be a drill that the Falcons used to run back when Glanville was coach. They would put a garbage can on one of those trucks, run it down the sideline, 20 miles an hour. Before they would leave practice, if one of the quarterbacks hit it inside the garbage can, everybody excused from practice. You can go. Why we ain't doing that no more? I didn't see that. I've never seen that drill ever since. Because that's how you throw the bomb. That's how you time your throws. You got to be working with them. That's why Kyle Shanahan was in Matt Ryan's behind so much, because he wanted him to get better. And Matt Ryan got exponentially better from 2015 to 2016 because he had proper coaching. So Mariota might have been garbage. You guys might be absolutely right, but you didn't help the situation by not coaching him. You didn't help the situation at all. You didn't help Ritter at all. And when you have a head coach that keeps saying that the man ain't ready, you know why, coach? You know why that man ain't ready?
John, coach wasn't going to give him an arm.
You ain't got nobody getting him ready.
John, coach was not going to give Mariota an arm, bro.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
No, it's true. Mariota has never had an arm, ever.
Because Matt Ryan never had an arm either until he went to quarterback camp. He went to quarterback camp, and from 2015 to 2016, there was a noticeable pop in that arm.
I don't know, John. Like young Matt Ryan, his arm was okay.
Yeah, it was better in 2016.
Oh yeah. Head over heels better.
It was better in 2016, but Matt Ryan, shoot. I remember that joker tried to throw a Hail Mary, and Mary died on the 30-yard line. I mean, Mary on the cross.
Before we keep going, let me give a shout out to my dog Smitty Sports Machine is in the building. If y'all ain't already following him yet, click on the profile and run up the likes, run up the comments. He says Toddy cooled off. I said,
oh, Toddy,
I was hot, man. I was fire hot, man, after the track.
If you really,
I drank a lot of alcohol that night.
If you really followed Mariota when he was in college, you know who made him look good?
Chip Kelly.
James.
Who that?
LaMichael James.
Yeah, he did.
Name ain't heard in a long time.
He did.
He made Mariota look like, hey.
And a lot of times that's true.
All over the field.
And a lot of times that's true. You don't have to throw but 5 or 10 yard out, a little lob pass by 5 or 10 yards, and hey, man, take you to the house.
Jimmy, what you got? I saw you pull something up on your phone. What you got there?
So here's the crazy thing. Y'all said that Mariota wasn't that bad, right? What if I told
I think I'm the minority on that one.
What if I told you Marcus Mariota averaged 170 yards passing per game. Desmond Ritter, 177. The difference in their QBR rate, Mariota had an 88.2, Ritter an 86.4. That's in 4 games. So if you really do the math, Ritter would have actually gave you better stats if you would have started him probably a little bit earlier than what you did.
Hold on. We got to dig into that now.
No,
we got to dig into that. Let's take in consideration that Ritter's best 2 games were in garbage time. Now we can't ignore that fact. You played an Arizona team that came out there and played hard, but they didn't have their starting quarterback. They had some injuries, and let's be honest, you played a Tampa team that didn't give a damn. They pulled their starters, right before halftime, and that was Ritter's best game. Now, when Ritter was playing the starters, he had 25 yards at halftime. So we got to put some of that in context too.
Okay, so we'll go even further context.
All right.
So everybody was harping about the rushing stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler Algier only started 7 games. However, Algier, Patterson, and Mariota, if y'all really look at the rushing yards that these guys had, they actually were the reason that the ball was making it up the field a lot, because if I remember right, and this isn't a knock on Ritter, if anything, Mariota probably made it a lot better with the rushing stats. Because now, what I will give him credit for, his read options were probably a little bit better than what Mariota was able to do, which is why you saw the runs work a little bit better. The only issue I think a lot of people had with Mariota, his deep balls, and if any, and they said it earlier, his deep balls, he used to throw them so high that the guys couldn't even get to him. He would throw a 12-foot ball for a guy that's only 6'4".
Oh, yeah. He throw high. He would throw high. Yeah,
he would a lot.
He would throw high.
He high point the ball a lot.
Now, if he would have brought those balls down a lot, nobody's arguing about it.
Because he had no accuracy.
At all.
Well,
he
go
got
ahead.
the arm. He just ain't got the accuracy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, he didn't have the accuracy. I can get you the ball, but you're going to have to go find it.
And terrible mechanics when it comes to throwing the ball.
So that now
Righteous.
what corrects that? You know, because see, the thing is now, remember, Mariota was on the bench for 2 years out there in Vegas. All right. So just like I said at the beginning of the year, Mariota out there on the bench for 2 years out there in Vegas. It's just like you had two rookies on the field. You know, if you ain't played, if you hadn't started for 2 freaking years and you in mop-up duty, and I think he played 3 or 4 games or something when Derek Carr got hurt, but it's not like you starting every week, okay? Right. So when you come in and you're starting and you're taking over the starting job because your head coach named him starter, okay? Your head coach named him starter. Okay, we accepted that. All right. I got a man here that has more pro experience than the man I just brought in. All right. So I'm going to start him. So if you start him, those are the fleas that come with the dog. Because number one, you didn't coach him. That's my main thing. You didn't coach him. If he had those situations going on with a high-pointed ball and throwing too high or throwing too low, what are you doing in practice to correct that? What you doing in practice to correct that? I had me a Kyle Shanahan that was out there on the field all preseason long. Hey, Matt, stop doing this. Do this. Don't do this. This is the way you do that. But you didn't have that. This man was just standing up there looking. Yeah, that's a good ball right there. How did you do? What did you think about that, Mario? Oh, I thought it was a good ball. I do too. I agree with you. You know, okay, do it again. Come on, man. The way you practice is the way you play. You got to doggone practice. You got to work. Tom Brady made himself into Tom Brady by working. Going to quarterback camp every year. Working on his game all the time to the detriment of his family. That man don't have no wife now because of football.
He addicted to the sport.
Yeah. He got Reese Witherspoon.
And hey, long time ago, that's the type of dedication you had to have to the sport to be good in the sport. You know, but you know, people don't do this today. You know, but
y'all, we got a comment coming from Smitty. Smitty says, "I think Arthur and Terry put their trust and run full steam ahead. Tennessee had Derrick Henry, Terry had Kamara and Ingram. It's a recreation of both run games. Do y'all see that like coming to fruition here in Atlanta?
Yes.
Building the Saints offense. Like that's exactly what we're doing. We building the Saints offense. Bijan is Kamara, Algiers Ingram, Pitts is Shockey, London is Thomas. Like we building the Saints offense exactly.
But you know,
they just have better pass blockers on the offensive line.
All right, Winston, you forgetting one important component in that now. That little short bastard they used to light.
Yeah, we ain't got the quarterback. We ain't got the quarterback. But right. I mean, put it like that: if Ritter doesn't show up this season, we'll be trading up to go get a quarterback next year. You better bet.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We got like 15 minutes left, and I want to ask all y'all one other question before we check out. 2023, well, in 2021, 2022, of course, we went 7-10 both seasons. And Arthur Blank came out publicly and said, hey, that was part of the plan. We knew we was up, our backs were against the wall. My question coming into this year, we had roughly 75, 77 million dollars of cap space. We had another top 10 pick. So getting to the point of my question, do you guys feel that 2023 is a must win season for the Falcons? And when I say must win, I mean winning record, and you are at least getting into the postseason.
Yeah.
I used to think so, but I think Blank that gave well Arthur Smith. Blank that gave Arthur Smith, hey look, I know we ain't had no money. I put you behind the 8 ball. Woo woo. Go ahead, build a team. You got this year. But come next season, because I used to think like this year was gonna have to be a must win. But that sort of fueled the Bijan pick too. Go ahead, go get the best player available. You good. Go ahead, build this team the way you want. 2024, I expect going to the conference championship or Super Bowl. But this year, like with the team that we have, we should win the division, go to the playoffs anyway. And if we don't, his seat gonna be scorching hot.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree on that.
I honestly don't think
Arthur
that it's
Smith.
hot.
I believe Arthur Smith to be on the hot seat, but as far as Terry goes, Terry
No,
is
Terry
a
good.
financial genius.
Yeah, Terry good.
Terry is a financial genius. I see him being with the Falcons for a while. Even if Arthur Smith is fired, Terry will still be here.
Oh, you better bet it. You gotta think about it. We Terry came in after Arthur Smith.
They didn't come in together.
It ain't too many times you see a GM come after the head coach hire. If you bringing in two at the same time.
And that's a problem. That is a problem because, okay, now New York Giants had George Young, general manager, president. Wellington Mara told him, I need a Super Bowl in 5 years or you fired. So he went and hired Parcells. Okay, Parcells, look, I got to have a Super Bowl here in 5 years or I'm going to get fired. Guess what's going to happen to you? Guess what's going to happen to you? Not only are you going to get fired, but they're going to find you under one of those end zones. Okay, so
Jimmy Hoffa.
So Parcells brought him the Super Bowl. And when you hire the head coach, now from what I understood, yes, Terry was hired after, and that was only because I think the Saints were still in the playoffs, weren't they? And they couldn't tamper with anybody. Weren't the Saints still in the playoffs?
I believe that's what the case was.
Yes.
Okay. So
You can have the interview and stuff, but you can't announce a hiring before till they playoff ranking.
Now, so I don't know. Now, did Terry say I want Arthur Smith, or did Arthur Blank say I want Arthur Smith?
No, that was Arthur Blank.
That's the $1 million question.
Now,
it was Arthur Blank.
Now, if Arthur Blank picked him, we got a problem.
Because I guarantee, if you really look at it, Terry Fontenot, based on what he look at, even in the back of his mind, based on what he done seen over the last couple of years, he probably don't want nothing to do with Arthur Smith. To be honest.
Yeah, because there was a rumor, and hey, and it goes back to those draft night doggone jitters, those draft night binge drinking. When you come here as a new head coach, bringing a new regime and all that type of stuff, and you got the number 4 pick, with an aging quarterback here, that pick screams quarterback or trade it down. Quarterback, because Kyle Pitts was making within $2 million of what's his name out there in San Francisco. Kyle Pitts is getting first round quarterback money.
Who, Trey Lance?
Yeah, Trey Lance. He was winning $2 million of what Trey Lance got. So this man is getting first round quarterback money. Okay. And I understand he's a generational talent and all that type of stuff, but no, bruh, come on. That's a and see that pick may be the epitaph of the doggone Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot regime. Your first shot at getting a player might be your epitaph. But
Antonio, this is a real interesting question I want you to touch on. Mills in 1967 says Smith's play calling is what's going to get him in trouble. Do you see any problems with Coach Smith's play calling or his scheme or what he does with his offense?
I think now, based on what we have as far as weapons on offense, I think Arthur Smith's playbook is going to drastically change.
Facts.
It's going to
He
drastically
done shown
change
he's versatile.
based on the weapons that he has now, and him believing in Ritter and Ritter being able to get rid of the ball. I believe that he had plays in his playbook that he actually couldn't call
Facts.
Yeah,
because of the quarterback situation.
Facts.
well,
You can't have somebody go out there and I'm like you said, when that man out there throwing, like between who was that used to argue on the cartoon, it'd be like rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Hey, Mariota couldn't get the ball to nobody down the field.
No.
Ritter can. And now with the weapons that he have, and then everybody gonna come back healthy. Hey,
I don't have an issue with his play calling. I got an issue with his situational play calling. But overall,
yeah.
he shows that he's highly versatile. For him to be able to switch in year one, a pass heavy offense, to year two to being a run heavy offense and be dominant running the ball, he's shown that he's highly versatile. It's a situation when the back against the wall, we got to make a play, and he pull out something dumb, like when we play the Commander, that interception. Why are you throwing the ball?
Oh, that was a terrible play.
I was there at the game. That happened right in front of me. I'm looking straight at it. Right in front of me.
And I'm gonna
Why are you throwing the ball?
And see, I'm gonna say this too. And those mistakes that we made on offense and defense, we very easily could have won the division.
Yeah.
Except for
Most definitely.
crucial mistakes that we made. And when who was the lineman that was running with the ball and the ball?
Daquan Graham.
Daquan Graham just
yeah.
all out his
EQ.
little stuff like that. Mariota.
Yeah, nerve. Nerve.
He probably was.
Mariota fumbled in the first game.
Yeah, Mariota fumbled. Drake London got the
London
ball
fumble
out of his hand because and yeah, Tidy remembers. Take them damn sleeves off of your arms, son.
And you was on that one, John.
Yeah.
You was on that. As soon as he took him off, he started balling and holding on to the rock.
I mean, trying to look pretty. And then, okay, you finally rip them off during the game. Man, I mean, stuff like that. Stuff like that. We could have won 10 games. And in the division that we're in right now, oh man, 10 games, man. We could have got a first round damn bye or something, but no, everybody else had better records. But
yeah, but I mean, technically, if you really look at the Falcons last year, we gave everybody, a majority of the teams we played, we was there.
Everybody but Cincinnati, really. We made a push at the Rams late, but Cincinnati and the Rams, we was pretty much in every game, I think.
And I honestly believe, like, when they brought in Nielsen, they let Nielsen know. I think Nielsen and Terry, part of their agreement with bringing him in, with him taking over the defense, I believe Nielsen, they gave him control, basically, of the offseason and the free agency.
Yeah.
For that man to bring in who he wanted to bring in. To build the defense that he wanted to build.
And we gave up yards, but we didn't give up points. We didn't give up a whole bunch of points.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
we was in every game.
Yeah, we were in every game.
If we had scored 20 points, if we had scored 22 points, the last 4 games, we'd have won 4-0 and would have been won the division.
Mm-hmm. You
And I
know,
Facts.
believe that had Ritter started like 3 games earlier, we would have
The
been in
the
the
last
playoffs.
3 games, nobody scored more than 21 points on them.
yeah, yeah. You
Right,
know,
y'all, three dirty makes a good point, and it's something that I've been crying about lately. He says, I don't think we can use Pitts to his full potential with the scheme we have in place until he gets creative.
I think
Um,
we can this year with the addition of John Smith. You
okay.
didn't
Yeah,
have another tight end like Smith that could actually help stretch the field. Now, I know people will say, well, you had McCole Pruitt last year, but John Smith is a different beast. He's one
most
of
definitely.
those guys that can block in line. He can actually, line up as a slot receiver. So if you give them time to work, I think John Smith is going to be the biggest addition that's going to help Kyle Pitts get a lot more open this season.
Facts.
And
That's good.
anybody that have a doubt about John Smith, go back and watch his Tennessee highlights. Watch that man sit there take screen passes from like 60 yards out and go score.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
John Smith is a monster. New England just didn't know how to use him.
At
So
all. Because
They
they
didn't.
had Hunter
I mean,
Henry.
Well, I mean,
you got defensive coordinators being offensive coordinators last year,
yeah.
and
Cause
they splitting it like that. That makes no sense.
see what I'm talking about. See what I'm what's his name? Josh McDaniels. Where did he go?
he's at
Vegas.
Vegas now.
He went to Vegas when they fired what's his name? Chucky, right?
Yeah, Chuck.
Gruden.
Yeah,
John
Yeah,
Gruden.
Gruden.
yeah.
Yeah,
Chuck got in a lot of trouble for you.
yeah,
Did
yeah, yeah. And see that's what I'm talking about. You got a defensive court, man. All right, all right, all right. Hey, man. When something's going wrong in your department, you go find that department head and ask that department head what's going on in your department. What what are you doing? What's your resume? How can you help the doggone offense? Just because you played against them or whatever, you suddenly picking up offensive tendencies? Come on, man. No.
All right, y'all. One last question before we get out of here. We right up on the 2 hour mark. Let's give our draft grades. I'll start off. Um, even though I was fire hot about the Bijan pick, boy.
yeah,
Ooh, way well, I was mad about that one, man.
yeah,
I
they
tell
had
you,
you on
I
night watch.
said, woo, boy, I was fire hot. But I'm gonna give our draft this year, man. I like the guard. I like the guy from Ohio State. I'm gonna give us a clean B. I think for me that's a fair grade. I'm notoriously a tough critic with these Atlanta Falcons, as I'm sure y'all know. But I'm gonna give us a B. I'm sliding toward a B minus, but I'm gonna slide more toward the positive side. So I'm gonna give us a clean B. I'm gonna give us an 85. So we just got past the B minus. What do you say, Jimmy?
I'm on that same line about 85. That seems about accurate. Given we filled needs. Like you said, I think Bijan kind of might have been a luxury pick, but it also was one of those picks that offensive wise, he might have been the most NFL ready guy that you could just plug and play, and
Yeah.
he's ready day one.
Day one. Day one. Yep. Day one. All right. What about you, James? What's your grade?
B plus. I'm gonna go B plus. 85, 86 range, due to the simple fact it was Jimmy just mentioned. You got a running back that you can plug in day one, so that's why I said that he will start from day one. They addressed the offensive line need with a versatile tackle. He played tackle at Syracuse. I watched him a little bit. You can plug him in at guard. On top of that, they did address the defensive end issue. Harrison, he has untapped potential. I'm telling you this with so much confidence. He has so much untapped potential because in those games, he showed up. Even in the Georgia game, he played his part in that game as well. Overall, like you say, DeMarco Hellams, he has untapped potential. Like Jimmy say, he's suspect on the deep coverage, but you can plug him in the box, and he's a secure tackler. The guard is more for depth reasons. The cornerback, he was, like I say, he was one of the highest graded cornerbacks that was in the draft. And for where you got him at, that's a steal at the end of the day. And the main thing is with this team overall, I'm excited about this team um, with the additions that we have. And I feel like, at the end, when it comes to the second portion now, they still not finished.
Okay, so more to do. All right, Winston, what do you got in regards to your grade for the draft?
I'm gonna give us an A minus, and that's only because I'm including Okuda and Donald Smith in the draft. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a B plus. Um, we got we got arguably the best player in the draft. Um, we
Your
got
sound
two
going in and out, Winston.
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
said I said I'll give us a A minus, and that's because I'm including Jeff Okuda and Johnu Smith in the draft class.
No, no,
Um,
you just gotta do the draft now. You can't include the free agent.
but I mean, you got to think about it. We traded to get them. That's part of the draft.
No, that's not part of the draft. I'm
All
talking
right,
about the
all
draft.
right.
The guys coming out
Then
of college.
I give us a B plus.
All right, B
I give
plus.
us a B plus. We got arguably the best um player that came out in the draft. We got a mauler for a tackle, but he's not even gonna play tackle. His arms too short. So at left guard, we got a mauler. Uh, Harrison in 2 years, Harrison gonna start surprising people. Harrison gonna be of that Trey Hendrick ilk. That was the reason why we got him. Cause you gotta remember Ryan Nielsen developed Trey Hendrick, and then he left and went to Cincinnati. Um, Phillips going to be the steal of the draft. At where we got him at, Phillips is going to be the steal of the draft. Um, and then the 7th round pick, like they're gonna be special teamers at first. Hellum gonna end up working his way on the field, but he's 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 gonna be more of like a gunner on special teams. So I give us a B plus.
B plus. I can dig it. John, you on deck?
Man, y'all about to make me wish winter was coming.
Some
Oh,
man ain't got here yet.
yeah, I know it. I know it. And see, my grade, I got to give them a good old fashioned Atlanta public schools I for
Incomplete. That's definitely Atlanta Public School.
because in reality, these are kindergartners. These people are just starting a new journey. Okay, they freshmen. If you want to use the high school analogy, they're freshmen. So I hear all of the promise. I know what these people did in college. Everybody's been educating me on what they've done in college, but get it off here and put it on my grass or my artificial turf. So right now, I got to grade them an I for incomplete. We look like we got some nice quality, shiny pieces out of the big stove. And, next year we'll be able to shop even more. But hey man, I'm ready for football here in doggone May. Ready for football. I have to watch the XFL and the USFL and all that type of stuff until the real people get back.
Yeah, training camp will be here before we know it.
Oh, and also take a look at the people that we invited for training camp, because you got a quarterback that threw for 9,000 yards where he came from that we invited to training camp. It's the Commanders training camp and our training camp. So we might have our 3rd string quarterback coming, 4th string quarterback, whatever. I don't know. We'll have somebody here to compete with some folks.
Right, Felipe gone.
Yeah, well, that's your other tight end.
Nah, he gone.
Yeah, he should be gone.
That's
All right, Tonio,
QB1.
take us on with your grade, brother.
I
What's your
give
grade?
it a B plus plus, like an 89, based on the simple fact that I think 4 to 5 of the players that we drafted gonna be like instant impacts. Bijan, Bergeron. I believe if Harrison is coached up, he might be a beast. And CP3, I think, was the steal of the draft for us. And if Helms can get in there and do his thing, like I said, I give it an 89, B plus plus. But just because they did certain things in college, that don't mean it necessarily transfer over to the league. So,
Very true.
like John said, I give it a B plus plus dash I.
I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, y'all. That's the show for tonight, man. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank everybody also that was in the chat. Definitely appreciate y'all. Also want to thank John for coming through. Winston, appreciate you for coming through. James, thanks a lot for coming through. My guy Tony, appreciate you, man, bro. Thanks for
Yes,
coming
sir. You too,
through.
bro.
And also Jimmy, have you got your YouTube channel up?
Yeah, it's up. Hallways Conversations. Just search for it. I'm gonna start throwing some content out there pretty soon, so be on the lookout for it.
All
All right.
right, back
And
that.
and make sure to post it in the group so we all can subscribe to it. But we out of here, man. We'll do it again real soon. Appreciate everybody. Peace. We are gone. Bye.